Hi friends and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hello. My name's George Agambar and I'm a UK music producer. Welcome back to my short series taking you through the very basics of recording and producing. The very basics. Even if you've never dived into the wonderful world of audio production before, by the end of this series you should feel confident in recording and producing your first ever song. So make sure you stay tuned and hit the subscribe button and notification bell to follow the series along.
And things will never be the same when I hear your name since you kissed me in the rain.
In the last video, we had a look at our project settings to make sure that we were in a good place to begin to create our song. Today we're going to be having a look at drums. Drums are an essential element to any song. Today we're going to be having a look at the different ways to create a drum track, the typical elements of drums in different genres, and how to give a MIDI drum track a human feel really quickly and easily. The quickest and easiest way to create a drum beat would be to insert a drummer track. For the genre, let's stick with rock today. So here's the beat that Logic creates. Then in the settings below, you can choose how complex or simple you want the beat to be, and how loud or soft by dragging the yellow dot. You can also vary the different drums by clicking on the corresponding picture and using the slider to alter their complexity. On the right hand side you have a choice of fills and swing. The fills dial will increase or decrease the length and number of fills in the track, and the swing dial will increase or decrease the swing feel of the drums. To make the drum track carry on for longer, you go to the track and can either press the yellow plus button on the right hand side or grab and pull the end of the track itself. This is a great tool to have, but we can also create our very own drum beat from scratch using a MIDI drum sound, and this is where having a MIDI controller really comes in handy. We simply insert a software instrument track and choose a drum kit or drum machine from the instrument library. Once we have done that, all we have to do is play in the drum beat that we want and we have created our drum part, if you have a MIDI controller. If not, you can simply go into the editor window using the scissors button and choose the brush tool. Here you can click on the grid and it will create a beat view. You can then change the length of this beat by dragging it, and the drum sound that produces the beat by moving it up and down. The instrument that each row on the grid corresponds to should be on the left-hand side. Most pop and rock music is in 4/4 and has a backbeat, which means that the snare falls on beats 2 and 4 of the bar and the kick on beats 1 and 3, and the hi-hat is used to fill in the space in between. The main difference between the two genres is that rock tends to have a slightly lower and heavier sounding drum sound and uses the cymbals a lot more. But in terms of the actual beats and rhythms, the two genres nowadays are quite similar. Here's an example of a pop/rock beat. As you can hear, it's very straight with a snare on beats 2 and 4 and kick on beats 1 and 3. I have added in a few extra kick beats just to add a bit of interest and keep the track moving, and this is also very common of the genre. For ballads, we tend to want to pare back the drumming a bit and leave a lot more space. The hits tend to fall ever so slightly behind the beat, but we're talking fractions here. The hi-hat normally plays 6/8 to hold the song together, and all the hits are normally very precise and clean sounding. Here's an example of a ballad beat. It still has the essence of a pop and rock feel, but is pared down a lot to make it more suitable for the genre. R&B music is becoming more and more popular, and R&B drumming is all about the feel and the groove, and less about the strict technical accuracy. R&B uses a lot of dotted rhythms to help give it that syncopated feel, And again, it's really not about showing off and being technically impressive. It's all about sounding good and having that emotion behind it. Here's an example of an R&B beat. Quite simplistic in theory, but sounds good and has a nice groove. Using MIDI drums is great, however they can sometimes sound a bit robotic. But luckily for us, there is a really quick, easy, handy technique that we can use to help solve this. If you go to the editor window, you will see all of the MIDI beats you have inputted. You then select all of these notes, go to Functions, MIDI Transform and Humanize. This menu will appear and you simply click Select and Operate. You will see that the positioning of some of your notes will change, as will the colours. This sounds more human, as no one ever plays every single beat with the exact same force or completely in time. Here's a quick before and after of the drum beat. As you can hear, the second beat sounded a lot more natural and nicer to listen to, despite being less technically perfect than the first. So that's how to create a drum track for your song. Next time we're going to be having a look at creating a bass line. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know if you have any questions or thoughts down in the comments. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and notification bell, and I will see you again very soon.